guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Emily. I'm an illustrator and a content creator and I actually work from my own studio, but right now I am self-isolating, so this video is coming from my bedroom, so welcome. I haven't done a video like this for a long time where I just sit down and chat to you about my experiences, give you some tips and some advice. I've had an idea of what I wanted to talk about, so I thought let's sit down while I'm isolating and get it all off my chest. So, as you can see from the title of this video, this is 5 of my top tips for you as a creative business. Maybe you're wanting to start a creative business. These are my tips from you based on mistakes I have made. So learn from me, learn from my mistakes that I have made. So yeah, let's get into it. So if this is the first video that you clicked on of mine, you won't have a clue who I am or how I've got to this point. But basically, I'm an illustrator. I started my business in 2019. I decided to pick up a camera when I didn't have a job. I wanted to start my own business. I had a really tiny baby. I decided to pick up a camera, or my phone, because I didn't have a camera back then, and start documenting the process. And my business has kind of built over those 2 years to what it is now. So I'm an illustrator and content creator with multiple different income streams. I do a little bit of everything. I have an online shop, I have a Patreon, you know, I do all these things. But there are definitely some things that I wish I could go back 2 years and do and try or put into place. Things that I didn't do, maybe some things that I did do that I wish I hadn't. I have so many things that you can learn from. I've also written a blog post that will go alongside this video, so find that linked below that you can refer back to. Okay, so mistake number 1, which is it a mistake? It's something I wish I could go back and tell myself when I was first starting out, and that is really focus on what you want to do. It's very easy to get mixed up in the trends and what other people are doing online. Sometimes you can forget what your initial goal was when you started and the reason why you started. So if you are new to this, maybe you have already started, maybe you're 6 months into your business, sit down and make a note of what your goals are, what you want to do, what you want to make, what you want to become. All of these things, even if they seem like wild dreams, put them down on paper, like physically get them out of your head and put them on paper. Now I'm saying this because I didn't do this when I first started. I had an idea of I wanted to become an illustrator with their own business, but I didn't know what kind of illustration work I wanted to do. I know what I enjoyed, but I didn't take the time to put it down on paper. And the problem with that, with not having a sort of path that you want to go down, you can be very easily distracted and influenced. I've always enjoyed creating characters, I've always enjoyed drawing people, and my honest dream was to have people buy products with my characters on them. That was the ultimate goal for me. I started doing that, and then I found myself being influenced by other creatives that were doing an amazing job. And I found that a lot of people were enjoying like text-based products, quotes and things like that. And although I still do them now, I found myself being really influenced and moving away from characters and creating text-based products. So like my first pin, second pin, stickers, you know, they were all text-based. And although that was great and people liked it, I sat back and thought, my dream was to create characters that people want to buy and want to have products with those on, and why am I not doing that? So that takes me right back to my first point. If you have a goal of what you want to do, maybe you want to become a greetings card designer, and maybe that's what the goal is, and you want to see your cards in shops, put that down on paper, stick it up on the wall. Because after you've been online for a while, you could easily follow trends and move off that course. So yeah, that is my first little tip for you. Write down your goals, stick with them. Even if you change your mind, I mean, that's fine, but try not to be influenced too much by what other people are doing. Okay, my second little tip for you based on past experience is learn early on how to say no. I have this saying that I really like it, and it is, you can be a really kind person and still say no. And that is so, so true. Now, I am a people pleaser. If somebody asks me to do something, I the idea of saying no fills me with dread because I want people to be happy and I don't want to say no to people. But what I found was that I was saying yes to everything and it was causing problems to my mental health. So I decided early on in my business that I didn't enjoy doing portraits. Commission pieces, I did them for years and years and years, and I sat down and realised that they did not bring me happiness. I actually lost sleep because I used to dread doing them. And even though I knew this, and I told myself this, I still couldn't say no when people asked me to do them. It was really hard for me to say, no thank you, I don't enjoy doing them, it doesn't bring me happiness, I can't do it. Instead I would say, yes of course. It's crazy. Looking back now, it's crazy how I would much rather have suffered myself, my mental health, and my time away from my child to just make sure that one family was happy. Crazy. So this is my advice: learn to say no, learn to set boundaries. What do you enjoy doing? What do you not enjoy doing? If you don't enjoy doing something, you can say no. It's really easy. You can say no in a really nice way. You can be very sincere and say, I'm really sorry, I know you would love this from me, it does not bring me happiness, I don't like doing it and I'm not going to. And that's absolutely fine. Do you know what? You don't even need to explain yourself. You can just say, no, I'm sorry, I don't do that. And that's fine. It really is okay. I'm giving you permission to say no. My third little bit of advice, again from a mistake I've made, is do not rely solely on an app or just one platform to bring you sales, business, clients. Do not rely on one app. I have learnt this the hard way. Over the past 2 years, I've grown a following on Instagram. It's been wonderful for me. It's been so good. But I've realised recently how dependent I am on that app. And the thought of, for example, that account being hacked or deleted, it would essentially bring my business crashing down. Or it would do maybe a year ago, because I just put so much into that app. Now, I'm not telling you to use every app out there. I don't think that's the right way to do it. But start to think about other things that aren't just Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. You know, there's so many other things you could be doing in your business that if one of those apps did fail or stop working, you've got other things to back it up. For example, Snapchat. I don't know, is Snapchat still going? I don't know. A lot of people used Snapchat at one point and now it's like obsolete. That could happen to Instagram in a few years, so try not to put all eggs in one basket. So, for example, very recently I have started a mailing list. A mailing list. Start with that. If you haven't got a mailing list, set one up now. It can be so great because if all of these apps, you know, just disappear, you've got a mailing list. And it's so wonderful. I'm really starting to see the benefits of it now over the last few months of building it. So yeah, start a mailing list and don't focus on just one platform. Okay, this one is a mistake that I have made and I don't want you to repeat it. And that is, put time aside. I don't just mean like say you'll do it and don't. Like actually in your diary, block out time every week to developing your skills, getting better at your craft and learning new skills. Like put it in your diary. It's as important as all of those other tasks that you do. Now this is a mistake I've made. I haven't put the time aside and I tell myself, oh, I'll get to that. You know, when I've got a quiet time, I'll get to that. Yeah, there's no quiet time. Things get busier. And if you don't have it blocked in your diary, you won't do it. I have so many things over the years that I've said I want to do, I want to learn, I want to develop the skills, and I haven't done it because I haven't put the time aside. Or I think to myself, like I'll plan the time and then it'll get to it and I'll think, I really need to get this job done because, you know, this is going to bring me money now. Learning a skill is not going to bring me any income this month, this week, so I'll just leave that till next week. But it's just the wrong way to think about it. Developing skills and getting better is vital. Now the other point of this is, and this is another mistake I've made, don't think that spending your money on these courses online is going to result in like fixing your problems. There's some wonderful courses out there and they really get you with their wording. Oh my God, I have spent hundreds, maybe thousands of pounds on courses for SEO, for, I think I've done a Pinterest one, I think I've definitely done a photography one, not got around to doing that. I spend money on these courses thinking that I've achieved something by paying for them, and then I don't put the time aside and I don't get them done. It's so annoying. So don't worry about spending loads of money on courses. Just put the time aside and just start small and work on little tasks like that. If you want to learn SEO, wonderful. Put time aside. There's great free content out there. If you want to do a paid course, that's fine. Pay for it if you can, but just make sure you do the course. Make sure you do it. This is a mistake I've made. I recently spent a lot of money on an SEO course. I have put no time aside to do it, and because it seems like such a massive task, I spent all this money and I've not done it. I haven't done it. I don't know about SEO, and I've paid hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds on a course. So there we go. Learn from my mistake. It's fine to do courses. Just put the time aside in your diary to do it. It is as important as all of the other tasks in your business. And the final little tip I have loads more, I'm sure of it. I will maybe do another video, but this is just one I can think of right now. And that is, it doesn't matter if you've been in business for 5 years, 10 years, or 5 minutes. Put money aside. This is a massive mistake I have made over the years. I fell into the trap of thinking when I first started that, well, you know, I'm not making any money. If anything, I'm making a loss. So there's no point putting money aside for tax because, you know, I don't need to pay it because I'm not earning any money. I'm just starting out. The problem with that thinking is you carry on thinking like that, and before you know it, your business is taking off, because it will take off. If you're doing all these things that I've mentioned, you know, you're putting time aside for your skills and doing all this, it will do really well. And I wish I had the habit almost of putting aside 10% every time income came in, no matter how big or small. And just getting into that habit of having that money put to one side. And yes, if you don't owe any tax, then you've got some money there that you can spend, but getting into that habit early on will really, really help you. So for example, me now, 2 years into my business, I've just done my tax return for last year, and it's the first year I've ever had a decent profit, and quite a big tax bill has come from it. Now, if I'd have got into the habit of putting money aside every time I was paid any income, I'd probably be very close to have paid that tax bill by now. But because I haven't, I'm gonna have to find that money. So this is my mistake I've made. I didn't put money aside. So no matter how big or how small you are, maybe you're not making any money in your business, please don't worry, you will. Just start getting in the habit of putting a little bit aside. It's such a good habit to get into, and when you grow really big, which you will do, you'll be so thankful that you've done it. Now, I have Monzo business account, and what's really great with them is I can set up a tax pot. So anytime income comes into my bank, I've got it set up so 20% is automatically put in a separate bank account. It's such a clever thing to have. It means that I don't even see that money. It's not mine when it comes in. 20% of it is not mine, it's gone to a tax pot. So if you have something similar with your bank, have a look. Maybe you need to do it manually, but just get into the habit of thinking the money that comes into your bank is not all yours. A percentage of it is tax, and you decide how much you want to save. So there we go. I've given you 5 little tips there based on my experience in my business and the little mistakes I've made. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any tips yourself or any bit of advice for someone else that might be watching this video, please leave it below. It will be so helpful to everybody. If you want to get any more tips and advice from me, I have a Patreon. I like to help small businesses over there, so I do podcasts. I also do Zoom calls chatting about different topics. So yeah, come over and say hi. But now I'm going to go back to self-isolating. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you very soon. Bye guys!